Okay, so this is the big guy reporting from my bunker that's in the ground, hiding away from the COVID-19 virus. Little joke there. As I talk about the worst movies of 2018, yes, I know we're in the middle of 2020, and I should have done this a long time ago, but the thing is, I wanted to do all the reviews that I had from 2018 first. I wanted to edit those reviews and then put them on YouTube and then do the best and worst list. But things didn't work out that way. I still have those reviews saved in my computer, and eventually I'll put them on YouTube when I get the chance. But for now, I'll just do this worst list as it is. So here we go. Now this is in order as they came out in theaters. This is not in any ranked order of which movie made me more mad versus which movie made me less mad, basically. So we're going to break this into two parts. We're going to do the first part now, and then we'll do the second part in the next video. The first movie that is the worst of 2018 on my list is Insidious 4, which came out in January. This was on the first week of January, the first weekend. This was a bad movie. This was the weakest of the Insidious franchise. The Stupid Lost Key, which was a prequel, where you have this demon that has keys for fingernails from Lynn Shay's past, going after her, I think it's her nieces, and I think they try to set up these nieces to be like love interests for the two geeks, Specs and the other guy with the beard. One gets trapped in the further, the other one doesn't. I believe that's how it goes. And there's a whistle that is the key MacGuffin that can help out. And it's such a stupid movie. The monster's not that scary. It's one of the two guys that works with Lynn Shay looks a bit creepy coming on to both of the girls. The other one doesn't look that creepy, really. The guy with the glasses. He actually looks a bit charming to me with the affection he has for one of the girls. But there's really no chemistry between him and his love interest. And the movie itself was just not a good movie, really. Most of it was just jump scares, really, as far as the horror was concerned. So really, it's just not a good movie. Let's talk about Winchester. This is supposed to be about the famous Winchester mansion that was haunted. Now, there's so much you could do about this mansion, and unfortunately, this movie that we got was a terrible movie. It wasn't scary. It really didn't feel all that creepy at all. It just wasn't a good movie. Again, mostly jump scares, and I really just didn't care for it. I really didn't like this movie at all. 50 Shades Freed, the end of the 50 Shades trilogy. Thank goodness we're not getting any more movies like this in theaters around Valentine's Day. But this was such a bad movie, and I just didn't really like this movie. The scene where you have Mr. Gray and Dakota Johnson eating ice cream off of each other was gross. Really, everything else about this movie sucked. Honestly, if I wanted to figure out like which movie was the worst of these three, probably maybe the second was the worst, I think. All three of them are bad, in my opinion. Maybe the first one is probably second worst, and the third one is the least worst. I don't know, but they're all bad. So that's all I gotta say for 50 Shades Freed. Samson. This is one of those religious movies, one of those pure flicks. I didn't think this was a good adaptation of the Bible myth about Samson and his hair. I really didn't think it was done very well. The acting in it wasn't that good. The production design really wasn't all that good. It really just wasn't a good movie, really. Death Wish 2018. This is the remake that starred Bruce Willis. I didn't like this movie. I hated this movie. I felt this was racist against black people. I really didn't like the way Bruce Willis was portrayed in this film. It just wasn't a good movie, and Even though I never seen the original Charles Bronson Death Wish, I'm sure that movie is probably better than this one. Strangers Prey at Night. Now, I did see the first Strangers a while back. I thought that home invasion movie was actually very good. Going to this movie, I thought this movie was going to be as good, but no, this movie is terrible. More time, I'm actually rooting for the three stranger killers more so than I'm rooting for the protagonists, because the protagonists are so stupid in this movie. And they make the dumbest mistakes just to prolong the movie. It's just dumb, dumb, dumb. You could have ended this so much quicker, and they just made dumber mistakes. It was just so stupid. A Wrinkle in Time. Now, I am somebody who loves the book. I love the book. I think A Wrinkle in Time is a wonderful book. And I am somebody who likes the made-for-TV movie, even though the made-for-TV movie is not good, and so not good that when the writer, Madeline Engel, actually saw the movie, she said she didn't like it, and she knew she wasn't going to like it. But I think she would have hated this big budget blockbuster version even more. The acting is not good. The special effects are not good. Oprah Winfrey does not look good in the movie. I think Storm Reid is doing the best she can with what she's given. But honestly, it just wasn't a good movie. And for any of you who are saying, oh, this movie's the new Never-Ending Story. No, the Never-Ending Story had good acting, good special effects, good animatronics and everything else, good characters. This movie doesn't have any of that. Go read the book instead. Instead of watching a bunch of kids riding a flying broccoli when they should be riding a flying centaur. Really? Pacific Rim Uprising. This was a disappointment compared to the first Pacific Rim. Now, this one was not directed by Guillermo del Toro. This was directed by somebody else. It has John Boyega in it. And just wasn't a good movie. I like John Boyega. I thought John Boyega did the best he could with what he was given. But honestly, just wasn't very good. The kaiju weren't as cool as they were in the first movie. The robotic suits I thought looked pretty good, but honestly, it just wasn't as good as the first one, and I was really disappointed with it. Truth or Dare! Jeff Wadlow, you gotta stop making horror movies. This movie sucks. Heck, I think you should stop making movies altogether, period, even though you did a pretty good job with Kick-Ass 2. But honestly, Truth or Dare was not a good movie. I really didn't like this horror movie. The face that is made by these college students when they're playing this horrific version of Truth or Dare. Truth or Dare, dare, truth. It's like, whatever. It's just so dumb. The way they did it with the demon controlling the whole thing was just stupid. Solo, a Star Wars story. Yes, I hated the Han Solo movie. I did not like this movie. Really, Han Solo's last name should not be given to him because he's alone. It should be his birth name. That's what I was expecting. But no. Let's have him be his last name because he's all alone when the Empire finds him. Let's have the Empire, the very people that he hates the most, be the one to give him his last name. Brilliant. What? Ron Howard, that's stupid. I did think that Alvin Einrich was trying to do the best he could with what he was given, but I don't think he was the right actor to portray this role. I actually thought that Ansel Elgort would have done a much better job, the lead baby writer. Emilia Clarke really wasn't all that great in the movie. The Darth Maul cameo was stupid. The villain portrayed by the actor that plays Vision in the MCU wasn't done that well. Honestly, the only thing I did like was the Kessel Run. Danny Glover as Lando. But I hated the fact that the movie makes him be in love with his droid, his female droid. Like, really? Because that doesn't make any sense with the Lando we meet in Empire Strikes Back. The Lando we meet in Empire Strikes Back is very much a player and a bit of a ladies' man. So it makes no sense that his true love is a droid when he doesn't seem to show any care for any of his droids in Bespin. So explain that to me. Gani, this piece of garbage that John Travolta did where he was playing the mobster Gotti. It was such a bad movie. it was not done very well. He doesn't look very good in it. The acting in it wasn't good. I did think it was pretty cool that he and his real wife were playing husband and wife in the movie, but honestly, it just wasn't a good movie. Jurassic World, Fallen Kingdom. Yes, this movie was terrible. I think this movie is probably the worst of the Jurassic Park movies. Probably worse than that stupid Jurassic Park 3 with the talking raptor. Alan. I don't know. Maybe that movie's worse. This movie is just really, really bad. I really didn't like this movie. It was so dumb with the kid being a clone and letting loose all the dinosaurs onto the world or to take over the world and send us back into the Jurassic times. Brilliant. Thank you, child, for ruining this fictional world and having all of the dinosaurs take over the world once again. Like, really? That's so dumb. Honestly, they should have just not made any sequels to the first movie. Skyscraper. This is basically Dwayne Johnson's attempt at doing Die Hard, along with a little bit of The Inferno, which was a disaster, a movie where a skyscraper has a fiery inferno in it from the 70s. This movie was just not good. I didn't like this movie at all. Dwayne Johnson is a guy with a peg leg trying to save his family. Wasn't a good movie. I really didn't like this movie at all. He's trying to save his family from a burning building that is overrun by terrorists, and it just wasn't good. You're not John McClane, so don't try it. Darkest Minds. This stupid movie, I was trying to rip off X-Men, basically. And it just wasn't a good movie. I didn't like this movie. I think Storm Reed is in this, the lead actress from Wrinkle Time. No, wait a minute. It's not Storm Reed. It's the girl from The Hate You Give, I believe, actually. Whoever it is, it's just not a good movie. And the whole thing with the different psychic abilities being identified by the color, by whatever color your eyes you have, is kind of stupid. And it just wasn't a good movie. Slenderman. Oh, this horror movie sucked. This was not scary. Really, it was so dumb. It was just really not scary. The characters in it were not really all that scary, and just finding out that each of them disappear one by one except for the black girl. The black girl just turns crazy or catatonic, really. But the other two get turned into trees, I think, which is stupid. And just the way Slender Man looked in the movie was dumb. Mile 22. This movie had the guy from the Raid films, Iko Uwais, and it had Mark Wahlberg playing a guy that has autism. And it just wasn't good, which really disappointed me because I'm a big fan of Iko Uwais. And I do like Mark Wahlberg as an actor, but the movie itself is just not good. And I just didn't like this movie, which is a shame because I was hoping this movie was going to be good considering it had Iko in it. But then again, I'll just go back to watching the two Raid films. All right, we're going to stop right there. I'll return with the second half.